Jalen, what was the mindset you had going into the fourth quarter after what happened last week?
I think, it was so important throughout the whole game. It's all about finish and maximize every time we had an opportunity to put in display our offense. And I think that was so important, especially in the fourth quarter, because it's all about finish. That's when you can really implement the finish mentality, and I think that was so important.
How quick is it to have a short memory? Throw the pick, but then you respond. You talk about finish, but how big is that with the whole team, especially with, they got the touchdown, then they stop the 2-point conversion, finish?
I think that's the biggest thing about playing a position. Of course, you plays you want back. Even if I didn't throw a pick, there's always a play I want back throughout the whole game. And it's all about bouncing back and then maximizing any play that you have. The mistakes are gonna come. That's the best thing about football is that mistakes allow you to learn and grow from it. And so I can definitely say the mistakes that I've had in football that does give me an opportunity to learn and grow as much as possible. So it's just a great learning moment.
And talk about the play to Bernard, the touchdown. What did you see?
So it's all about reading it out. It's a play that we repped throughout the whole week, and it was all about reading it properly, just having great eye discipline, and allowing our playmakers to make some plays in space. And Jeremy did a good good job on his route, and I just gave him a chance on the ball.
What's it like being on the sideline? You don't have control over the outcome when you're on the sideline last few seconds.
I think when we talk about team, that's a great example of just finding a way as a group to just cheer on whoever's on the field, and just everybody just buying in. I think that's so important, especially when the defense is on the field. Offense should be encouraging them on the field. Special team, no matter who's on the field, it's all about the encouraging aspect of it when we're off the field. And so it's all about trust factor too, and then we all have the belief in whoever's on the field.
Did you have any conversations with the offensive line, your offensive line up, maybe quarterback direction, especially with South Carolina's edge rushers?
So you got to factor into this week. We definitely got to acknowledge, the opponent we've had. But that was a great defense that we just played against. They have really good, two great pass rushers that they had. They're definitely good players, and it's something that we just try to prep against throughout the whole week. So, beyond today, we had a whole week of preparation. I thought that was so important when it came to pass pro, when it came to their stunts, their blitzes, how they rush up the field. It was all about our game plan as far as managing and understanding who our personnel was that was on defense. So communication was so important on the sideline throughout the game with the offensive line, so we're on the same page.
On that track, how do you think that you dealt with the multiple looks, pre-snap setting protection?
Yeah, so each play, the requirement of the quarterback is to do your best and try to get our offense in the right position so that we can be successful. And so, of course, they're going to disguise. They're going to give us looks that we haven't seen before with our preparation. That's what they should do. And so, on my end, it's so, it's just a factor for us just to always try to do what's best. And, at my position, just trying to, make sure that we're in the right check, the right pass protection, and having great eye discipline. And so I think that's something that we need to do as much as possible as far as offensive line and quarterback, just having a great communication. I think that's something we did a really good job with Parker and myself, just communicating and to make sure we're on the right track.
What was your thought process?
This season, what do you feel like the biggest strength of the offense is, and where do you want to see some improvement?
Biggest strength, mental toughness. I think finishing, despite anything that goes on in the game, I think mental toughness is so important beyond talent because, we have a board that says TNT takes no talent. And it takes no talent to have, that's something that we just try to have mental toughness, grind, refine, compete as much as possible throughout the whole week. And then when we have games, just being our best us and doing our best on that, whatever that game plan or whatever that call is. One sign that we all want to do is that the first sign of improvement is knowledge that you need to work hard and the knowledge that you need to improve. And so that's what we have in our locker room, is guys that's, that's always looking to get better. And learning and growing as much as possible because, we have a long season ahead of us, and through games, that's our first test to another opponent and allow us to gauge where we're at and also just understand, where we're at as far as, communication and also just putting our best us on the field. So I think that's awesome for us to just not look back and just reflect and just be able to do it.
Mental toughness. After everything that happened last week, the noise from everyone talking about this team, how proud are you of the guys for how they responded and took this team so much?
Very proud. I think it's very hard, as far as a group, to really come together when there's when there's hardship that that takes place. And I think we did a really good job just refocusing. It's definitely hard for anybody when you have something like that take place. But it's all about refocusing and understanding what our short-term goals, long-term goals was for us as a group. And so I think leaders did a really good job of stepping up, being a vocal leader and also leading by example and just refocusing us on the path that we want to get to. And the mission is still the mission, and all our goals are still the goals. It's all about following those all of our goals by how hard we work and the mindset that we have.
Can you walk us through the last play of the first half? What was the message from Coach DeBoer after the timeout, the 10 seconds left? What was the goal with that last play?
Yeah, I think it was for us to manage the field, cut the field in half, and just executing the play at hand. I got to do a better job with having great eye discipline, great details, and managing the field. And definitely something that I need to do a better job at, having better ball dominance and details. But no, yeah, I think it was just executing the play at hand, just cutting the field in half.
What does it mean to you that DeBoer trusts you to make those he's very aggressive in those situations? What does it mean that he has that trust in you to kind of make those plays, though?
Number one thing you said was trust. I think that's something that I appreciate about Coach DeBoer so much, the trust factor and the belief he has in me. That it's always vocalized, his belief in me is greatly appreciated from my end, especially when you have your head coach that believes in you each and every day and always has your back, despite anything, despite your failures, despite anything. He's always has my back. So as a quarterback, I'm greatly appreciative of him.
Can you speak to the fact that for the most part, South Carolina took away the vertical pass game, and how patient did you have to be? This is the first time Ryan's gone without a touchdown.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they game plan just like we game plan, so they definitely see how explosive we are on offense. So that's that was definitely something that they saw from us, is that how explosive we are in the vertical game. And so for them to acknowledge that just shows that they acknowledge where our strength is. So that was a great job by them. Got to credit South Carolina for their preparation, their grit, how well they played together, and they're definitely a great opponent, a great defense that we just played against. And definitely got to acknowledge who we just played against and how hard they fought.
How patient did you have to be with that?
Oh, 100%. You definitely got to be patient because there's so much football left. And, there's so much time on the clock. And so when you have this time, it's all about maximizing every opportunity, despite any play call or, especially in the passing game. Just doing my job, just having great eye discipline, and just distributing the ball to our playmakers.
Did you feel like you missed some chances on deep balls, or were there just no chances there?
Missed them. There's definitely opportunities where I could have give our receivers a chance. Definitely opportunity. There's a lot of left on the field, and so that's what the beautiful thing about football is. There's so much opportunity. Now we can refine, and reflect on this past game, and then boom, we can move forward from it. But just always acknowledging that there's areas where we can attack the football field with the proper guidance, and that's what we have with our great coaching staff. That's going to pour everything into us so we can be the best offense we can be.
Can you walk us through the
last 2 weeks about having these big learning situations? Are they stacked on top of one another, or were there similarities today in what happened against Vanderbilt?
I think each team that you play against is different structures, and each team we play against is unique in their own way. Everyone's strengths are not the same. Despite any opponent we have, West Kentucky's their strengths are different than USF. Their strengths are different than South Carolina. So each week you learn so much, and that's something that we acknowledge, that each opponent that we prepare for, they're going to give us a different look. South Carolina didn't run the same structure, strength defense as Vanderbilt. So that's something for us when we have this week with game planning. It just understand who's the personnel, what are the things that they like to run in certain situations, and just us gauging that, understanding that, and just trying to do what's best for us on offense.
Jalen, what's going to be your focal point this week in practice for you personally?
Personally, get better. Overall, just be the best quarterback I can be for this team. Just be continuing to just guide and lead the guys in the locker room, because we have so much football ahead of us, and as long as we have the right mindset, continue to grow as a group, we're just going to be right on our way. And so that's just something I acknowledge from this group, is that we have a great locker room that all have like-mindedness when it comes to what our short-term goals and long-term goals are for a football team. And so I know that that's the best part about being a part of our team.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.